I'm not particularly convinced about the prep that this horse has had. I know he's been kept quiet because they were basically assured a run in this race, and they've just kept him ticking over. I still have my doubts that he's really quite good enough. And I also have my doubts that this track will suit him. I think his only hope is to go to the front and to set a reasonable pace and hope he can see it out. But from a handicapper's perspective, I don't think he is all that well handicapped at all. He's obviously got a squeak, but personally, I'll be a bit surprised if he does win.
There we go. Another thumbs down from Matthew Lips. Very interesting. Let's move on to Astro News, who Kevin Shea rode in the Gallop. He won the trial on him the other day, and every trainer who's had him said he's a good horse.
Yeah, Laf, he's done nothing wrong, this horse. All I can say is he's very, very well. He's coming off 2 wins, so he's a horse with confidence. He's definitely on the up. I've just been doing a lot of work on him at home, and I could just feel this horse is improving and improving. His gallop today was phenomenal. I was very impressed with him. He definitely will see the trip. What else can I say? He's very well. I think Charlie's done a great job with him for the time he's had the horse. And I'm just hoping for a big run. He's got a nice draw, and he's a tough horse. And that's what you need for the July. A horse that's tough, that stays. And I'll give this horse a chance, without a doubt.
Astro News comes off a very good win, beating Bulsara in that cup trial. And he worked, also one of the horses I did see work this morning, and he was striding out very, very nicely. But he's a cup trial winner and an impressive cup trial winner. He won very comfortably that day, and he comes down a half a kilo with that on his back from that. But certainly a horse that's in form. And like Kevin says, he's been riding him, and he says he's on the up. He's on the up. Every time he works him, he gets better and better. So if a repeat of the cup trial win certainly puts him right there at the finish as well.
Obviously, the cup trial is a bit of a double-edged sword for this horse. I mean, winning the cup trial basically was what guaranteed him a run in the July, but on the other hand, it also earned him a 2.5 kilo penalty. But the good thing about this horse, he's always had a lot of ability. He's always shown flashes of real class, and he just couldn't put it together. But now he's come off 2 successive wins. He's obviously in great form. I don't know if you can call it a confidence thing, but the horse has learned how to win. Maybe it's just a late blooming Silvano. I think he's one of about 8 Silvanos in this race. His prep is going very well. You've got to respect this horse. Kevin obviously knows him a lot better than I do. He's in form at the right time. He's got a nice draw somewhere in the middle there at number 8. I don't think he can leave this out. But, 57 kilos, he is going to have his work cut out.
Yeah, the weight is certainly up there to give him a bit of trouble. But let's move on to Tribal Dance. And this horse showed he was a decent horse. He won the Sledgehammer. He won a year ago at this meeting. He's always been a hard hitter. Kevin, is he good enough? Is he better than Hill 54, first of all?
That's the trick question, Laf. Is he, like you say, he won the Sledgehammer. He's done nothing wrong for Vaughan. He looks like he's a hard hitter. It's very difficult for me to put him in front of Hill 54. I prefer, out of the 2, I think Hill 54 will finish in front of him, but he deserves his place, and I'm sure he's not going to be disgraced. So, as you know, it's a very, very open July this year, and every horse that's won a feature race has won all the big races over the past year and that are in the race. So he deserves his position, but is he good enough is the question mark. I don't really know this horse that well, but we'll soon see in 9 days' time.
Tribal Dance met Jet Explorer in the Sledgehammer, and carrying 60 kilograms won the Sledgehammer. Now he comes down from 60 to 57, so he's carrying 3 kilograms less than the day that he won. Now we all know that carrying 60 against Jet Explorer that day was a very good effort because, is that right? Yeah. Because Jet Explorer is fancied by Justin Snaith to do very well in the race today, in the July. So purely based on the fact that he comes down 3 kilograms, he did beat Jet Explorer. Who knows? Tribal Dance is a very honest horse.
Yeah, Tribal Dance, very honest horse indeed. Obviously on the Sledgehammer he gave Jet Explorer 5 kilos and beat him. Now is giving him 3. So on that he has to have a chance. Another one a little bit concerned that whether 2,200 meters at Greyville won't catch him out. Might possibly be on the sharp side. He strikes me as a real galloping type horse. I think this could actually be a very nice Gold Cup horse.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Sorry,
'Cause-
the whole thing is falling
Yeah, your
apart.
mic's just slipped out. If you can put that back in place.
Where's the guy? Sorry.
There we go. While he does a bit of repairs, we'll move on. We'll get his sound sorted out. But Matthew, with Gavin's help, they managed to get the sticky tape back on. It was in his eye a moment ago. But maybe we can move on to Run For It, who put up an impressive gallop today. And Justin has got 2 horses in the race. That's Justin Snaith. They've drawn 1 and 2. He's got 2 very good riders on his horses. He's got to be pleased with the way Run For It's come through, bearing in mind it beat a very small field winner one the other day.
Yeah, Lef, he's one of the fancied runners of the day. He's just, my question mark about him is he going to come to the party on the day? I'm sure Justin's got him 100% right. He's still just got to prove himself. I think he's run behind some very good horses, and he showed a glimpse of being a very, very good horse at one stage, and they gelded him, which I think was needed. He's a very aggressive horse. He's a tough horse. He's got a great draw. He's got an informed jockey on. Justin, they're very, very pleased with him. But is he going to come to the party on the day? That's going to be the interesting question. So the pressure will be on them, not on me.
I think Run For It, I was impressed. I watched his race. All right, it was a pretty easy race, but he couldn't have won any easier than he won. So his preparation run, although basically, all right, Wagner was in the race as well, but he certainly won. He couldn't have won with any easier than he did win. And so on the strength of that, Run For It, Justin's doing a proper job. He seems to be peaking the horse at the right time, and I'm sure on the day he'll give his best effort.
You know, the thing with Run For It in that last win in the 4-horse field, you have to understand, it was a set weights race or an allowance race. He was actually weighted to win by a furlong. He was weighted to win by a lot further than he even did win by. To me, that run doesn't actually prove very much at all, except that the horse is well. You know, to take that as proving that the horse has improved since he was gelded on the numbers, that just doesn't prove anything of the sort. I'm also not convinced that being drawn 1 is going to do this horse any favours, because he is a horse that tends to run on from off the pace, and I can just see him being shuffled backwards through the field. He obviously is well. You respect Justin's opinion. They think very highly of this horse. I think he certainly deserves his chance in the race, but I don't see any proof that this horse has made this in the race. I don't see any proof that he's made this fantastic improvement that all his fans seem to think he has made. That last run actually proves virtually nothing, and I don't really know where we are with this horse. That draw does worry me. I know there's a lot of talk for him. If I was still in the tipping game, he wouldn't be my selection, is all I can say.
Here we go, Matthew telling it like it is. Now let's move on to the first of Gavin van Zyl's runners. He's got 3 runners. He's got a Kahal horse called No Worries, who really threw his hat into the ring with a fantastic run in the Daily News, just beaten, showing that the further they go, the better this horse gets. Kev, was a very good run in the Daily News.
Yeah, Lef, I'm going to let Gavin elaborate on his horse here, but he got beat a short head by what was the ruling favourite. So on paper, he should be just about the ruling favourite. My only concern about him is his draw. He's got a wide draw. It's not easy from there. He's going to need a little bit of luck, but looks like he's going to be paced with it. He stays well. He looks like the distance is no worries. So, for me, he's a big runner. I've just looked at his form. He's run behind the best, behind Talina in the Gauteng. He's run into some very good horses, and it looks like he's coming right at the right time. So I definitely give this horse a big chance, but I'll let Gavin really let you know exactly how he's going.
We were a bit disappointed that No Worries didn't win the South African Classic, and he didn't bring his work to that race. He only got beat a length in the mile behind Talina, and we thought, well, the Classic, the extra 200 meters over the 1800 will be perfect for him. And the fact that he actually disappointed. He finished 4.5 lengths behind, so that was a disappointment. We then brought him down here to Durban and ran him in the Guineas, where we put blinkers on for the first time, and he went to the front. He went a very fast pace. They did a 96.4. Sorry, I would correct that. He did a 94.6 second mile, which is almost a world record time. That 1600 meter, like your world record times are about a 93, round about there, 92. But basically, it was a fantastic time. So he went flat out in that mile. So we said, okay, next time we'll keep the blinkers on. I was happy that he only finished 3 lengths behind, going flat out. So we kept the blinkers on. And, of course, his true form, which we expected to see earlier on in his career, came through in his last run. He was flying at the finish. We learnt a lot about him. He settled with the blinkers, so this time we'll be able to have him midfield. Unfortunately, he didn't crack a draw, so that is against him. But he's going to be a horse that'll bring probably a better effort than you can see on paper. He'll bring every bit of that last run to the race. He did come into the straight near 10 lengths behind last time out. Hopefully, if he comes into the straight 5-6 lengths behind, he'll be very competitive.
Well, there's not very much I can add to that. Obviously, that run in the Daily News 2000 was a fantastic effort. Beaten a short head by a horse that would probably be favourite for the July if he was running. He did beat Capetown Noir, who is just about favourite. The draw obviously is a concern, as Gavin said. He's going to probably need a lot of luck in running, but he is a nice improving 3-year-old. If you think the 3-year-olds have got a chance, and I know not everyone does, but if you think the 3-year-olds have got a chance, then this has got to be right up there on paper. Obviously the draw is the big concern, but we've seen the July one from draws 19 and 20 more than once, so it's certainly not impossible. I have my doubts about the 3-year-olds generally speaking, but clearly he's up there with the best of them, and you have to respect him.
Well, he didn't want to add much, but he added quite a bit. But let's see about Capetown Noir. Now, this is a very, very good horse. He's proved it. He won the Derby down in Capetown, which has always been a very good pointer. And he's been beaten very close in his 2 defeats up here. He's a very good horse. He's been 10 furlong twice, and he's run very well. People are talking about a stamina doubt, Kevin. But he's a very, very good racehorse from a very good stable.
Yes, Lef, without a doubt. He's a short head behind No Worries and versing Eterex. So that puts him straight into No Worries' category. He's a very good horse. I do a bit of work for Dean in the morning, and this horse has definitely come on. And this is the best I've seen him since he's been in Durban. He's trimmed up a little bit. The stamina doubt I don't think is going to be a problem. He worked very well today. I worked next to him. It was good work. He's got a nice turn of foot. I think this horse, out of the 3-year-olds, him and No Worries are short heads behind what was the ruling July favourite. So, weights, a little bit out at the weights, but what can we do? That's the way the handicappers worked it out. But he's a very, very good horse, and he's got to have a chance.
Talking about the weights, Capetown Noir is a Guineas and a Cape Derby winner. I mean, any horse that wins the Guineas in the Cape and the Derby in the Cape, you got to respect those type of horses. So I think that if No Worries is carrying 55 and Capetown Noir is carrying 55, I'd say that we're probably harder done by to carry the same weight as Capetown Noir. Having said that, we carried the same weight as him in the Daily News, and I have to respect. Dean Kannemeyer knows exactly what he's doing, and he's rated this horse very, very highly. I believe that we can look for some improvement from his last run. And he certainly is a horse that I think will be right there in the finish.
Yeah, I must say, Capetown Noir, when he won the Cape Derby, I thought, he basically battled to beat horses that were quite substantially his inferior. I think he wanted more on guts and heart than anything else. But his run in the Daily News does suggest that he probably does truly stay 2,000 metres, and he probably will stay 2,200 metres as well. He's obviously the best performed 3-year-old colt in the country. I think it's safe to say that in a year when they are quite levelly matched. He did finish behind No Worries at level weights last time, as Gavin said, so to me they deserve to be carrying level weights again. He's not very well drawn, but he is obviously one of the class 3-year-olds. Again, if you like the 3-year-olds, you've got to respect him. If you don't like the 3-year-olds, well, that's a whole different ball game. But I used to think the distance would be a problem. Now I think it'll be okay, and I think you have to respect him too.
All right, and I think that just staying with Capetown Noir, I don't see a pacemaker in the race. I think it's going to be a slow run race, and they're going to quicken, and no horse quickens like Capetown Noir. But let's move on to another 3-year-old. This time it's a filly, and the Will Avington winner. Do you remember? Not a big horse, but won the Will Avington, got a chance.
Deserves a spot left. Jeff Woodruff, the master. What can I say? It's coming off a win. It's unfortunately found cherry on the top in her triple tiara victory, and ran second to, I think, 2 or 3 times, and deserves its run. Let's see. Jeff knows what he's doing, so it's got to have as much chance as any of the others.
Do you remember won the Will Avington? And the Will Avington's always a good pointer. Look, she ran second 3 times to Cherry on the Top, who was originally one of the favourites for the July, if not the favourite early on. So basically, if Cherry on the Top was in the race, which unfortunately she's not, we would all think that Cherry on the Top would be a fancied runner. Basically, last time, every horse can be forgiven for one average run. and I don't even think it was very average. It wasn't too bad, in fact.